Hey, you YouTube and Snapchat and fuckers. Welcome back to another installment of the Friday Wrap-Up. Well, another week down. Another week closer to what the fuck, I don't know. But, we made it to Friday, and that's always the goal, isn't it? You get to kick back, relax, turn your day off, turn on the Friday Wrap-Up, and just appreciate the good things in life, the little things, So, before we get today's show kicked off, I want to tip my hat to today's libation. I am enjoying a little Jameson's cold brew. I showed you this a couple weeks ago. I made a cocktail with it, but I'm drinking this on the rocks today. I mean, just take a look at that. It's Irish whiskey brewed with coffee. I mean, the only thing missing from this is like a fucking slab of bacon shoved in the glass. It's 2 out of 3 of my favorite fucking things. So Azhalu to drink up and be somebody. Oh yeah, I tend to drink a lot more Irish whiskey in March. I love St. Paddy's Day, which is coming up soon, and I got a couple little things in the works for you guys, just to keep things interesting. Well, you're probably admiring my t-shirt today and wondering, where the fuck did he get that? Well, I got some goodies this week. I got the show's pretty popular, in all 50 states. So a buddy of mine was down at CPAC last weekend. And apparently these t-shirts were all the rage. So he grabbed me one because he knows of my esteemed affinity for New York's governor. So, he sent it up here. I got it in the mail the other day. I mean, it couldn't have come in a fucking better week. So I had to share it with you guys. So it's making its debut tonight. I also got from another friend of mine, check these out. Look at this. Official Friday Wrap-Up coasters. I don't know if you can see that catching a glare. I mean, It's big time. It's big time. So we got coasters. We got a Friday Wrap-Up cup. We got a Arrest Cuomo t-shirt. So, things are popping. So thanks, guys. Thanks for the shirt. Thanks for the coaster. Coasters, I should say. They titillated me. So, speaking of CPAC, did anybody see Trump's speech last Sunday? I mean, look, they're not going to show the full thing on fucking CNN. Fox showed a few snippets of it, but you really, really, really should, if you get a minute. It's not a short speech, but go on YouTube, probably Rumble's got it, and just check it out, because it was a good speech, I got to say. It was classic Trump. He basically just pulled his dick out and asserted his dominance on the Republican Party once again, and everybody fell in line. And he did allude to a 2024 run, which, should be another landslide election if they don't fucking cheat again. But I don't think they can cheat that big. I mean, right now, anybody who runs in 2024, as long as they're not a Democrat, should win. I mean, they're making it pretty fucking easy. I mean, fuck, I could even win. Could you imagine that, me president? I mean, first of all, don't get too excited. It won't happen. But if it did, I'd make Trump look like a saint. You kidding me? I have no filter, in case you haven't figured that out by now. I would get rid of all of this bullshit. Okay? I mean, kids would be reading Dr. Seuss again. The Muppets would be on television. Fucking Mr. Potato Head would have a schlong the size of my arm, and it would fit conveniently into Mrs. Potato Head. And if you push them hard enough together, little tater tots would pop out of her. Okay? There'd be 3 bathrooms. Male, female, and then, one for the confused. Dr. Fauci's picture be on it. So, but, yeah. So, I'm hoping the next 4 years go pretty fucking quick. It's going to be a bumpy one. Okay, well, we got a lot to cover. Nostril-gate. The Cuomo saga continues. Last week I mentioned how one of Cuomo's aides, Lindsey Boylan, had come forward and alleged that he sexually harassed her by, making inappropriate comments, touching her, and kissing her. Well, in the last week, 2 more women have come forward and accused Cuomo of sexual harassment. One being Charlotte Bennett, who also worked for the governor, and another one being Anna Rush, or Ruck, or Rook, or whatever the fuck you say her name. Now, Charlotte, as I said, who worked in Cuomo's office, says that in a conversation with him back in June, he had asked her questions about his sex life and if she liked older men and blah, blah, blah. Here's what happened. Okay, because she gave an interview. Now, she's about 25 years old, this girl. She's, okay. All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, on a good day, she's maybe a solid 5. Okay, there's a reason why I'm saying this. Settle down, okay? So she's saying, she gave an interview with some liberal hole, and she's going back and forth. She's saying, I was taking dictation, which is the wrong fucking phrase to be using when describing a sexual harassment case. Okay, you just probably want to avoid saying the word dictation in the same word, which means for you fucking pervs, he was dictating a letter or something. She was writing it down, and then she said all of a sudden he said to her that he's lonely and that he needs to find somebody, and then started asking her personal questions about her love life, because she apparently was involved in a sexual assault or something to that effect, which I'm not downplaying. I don't know what her background is, but when you look at her on TV, you can tell she's a little, she's not all there. Like the lights are on, but nobody's home, which could be PTSD. But anyway, so she made it seem like he just blurted this out. Like he asked her if she could ever experience intimacy, and he was saying that he wouldn't have a problem being with someone who is over the age of 22, who's younger, but as long as they're over the age of 22. And she goes, it sounded like he was trying to sleep with me, and I was confused. I'm going to lay both of these scenarios out, and then I'm going to come back to them. Okay, so that was Charlotte. So she didn't describe what led up to that conversation. Cuomo has said that he's had conversations with her, and again, I'm gonna lay out the second scenario. Then I'm gonna come back and then I'm gonna Jen Psaki. I'm gonna circle back and let you know what I think of both of these scenarios. So Anna, the second one, Anna Rush, who doesn't even fucking work for the guy, okay? Was a guest at a wedding that he apparently officiated in 2029. And she says that he grabbed her face and tried to kiss her. Or said, may I kiss you? So, she also said that she was confused and didn't know what to do. There's actually a photo of this, So, he grabbed her face and said, may I kiss you, with those fucking nostrils? And she was confused. Uh-huh. Now, this might come as a shock, what I'm going to say. So hold on to something. Make sure you're sitting down, okay? This is going to shock the shit out of you. I don't think... Well, let me say it this way. I think both of these girls are full of shit, okay? Absolutely full of shit. Now, so breathe. Take a deep breath, okay? So I'm not saying Cuomo is innocent of anything here, okay? What I'm saying is he didn't sexually harass these two chicks. Now, the first chick, Lindsay Boylan, I'm going to give her a little bit more credibility because she had alluded to this back in June when Cuomo was fucking untouchable. Okay? And it got brushed under the rug because he was the fucking Democrats' golden boy at the time. But she had alluded to this way back in June. These other two, well, fuck this third broad for a second. The second one, Charlotte Bennett, okay? She didn't come out and say nothing at the time. She didn't back up Lindsey Boylan. She didn't say, oh, and me too. She waited until this guy was under fucking fire from both sides. Okay? He's fallen. I mean, how the mighty have fallen. 6 months ago, the world was jerking off to the side of this fucking guy. Women were rubbing one out every time he did a press conference. Oh my, they were called Cuomo-sexuals. They were calling him the love gov. People were fucking drooling over him. Oh, he was just what we needed and blah, blah, blah. I mean, he was like fucking Superman. And I, from the beginning, said he was a fucking Momo, right? You heard it with Uncle Tommy first. So now, all hell has broken loose. And here's why I'm agitated by this, okay? Because he's catching flack for the wrong fucking thing. I'm not saying he shouldn't be catching any flack. He absolutely should be. But we're missing the fucking point, okay? So the first chick, okay, I'll give that some credence. But again, you know, an investigation is pending. Things have to come to light because it's he said, she said at this point. He's got witnesses that say that say everything that this chick said was a lie, and she doesn't really have anybody corroborating her story. So I'm not saying she's full of shit, but the other two, yeah. Here's why I'm saying that. So first, we'll start with Charlotte. So she works in his office. She's 25 years old. Okay, we don't know what kind of conversations have taken place between these two. Now, I'm going to say something about Cuomo. Okay, that you probably already know. He's a fucking egomaniac. I mean, people say I got an ego. This motherfucker, I got nothing on him. Okay. This motherfucker's ego could fill up Madison Square Garden and still pop the doors open, all right? And spill out onto 7th Avenue. I mean, he's a legend in his own head. He's a colossal asshole, okay? You could see the fucking arrogance radiating off of this guy. It's widely known throughout the Democratic Party, throughout politics in general, all over the fucking place. The guy's a jerk off, okay? He's an arrogant fuck. He also thinks he's very entertaining. He makes comments and little silly jokes, and he thinks he's funny. You can tell just by the way he does his press conferences with his stupid banter with his faggoty brother. But he's not. He's an idiot. He's an asshole. I'm not saying he's not. So, you know, you don't know what kind of conversations have taken place between these two. Maybe he was trying to be fatherly at one point. Okay, I'm not saying he wasn't inappropriate. I don't know what led up to that particular exchange between him and Charlotte that particular day. I personally think any guy that hits on a girl that's young enough to be his daughter is fucking creepy. Like, I'm 43. I would never date somebody in their early 20s because they're young enough to be my daughter. That's just fucking creepy to me. You know what I mean? But that's me. So this guy's got daughters this age, and he's allegedly hitting on 20-year-olds. Maybe he's believing his own headlines. This apparently happened in June, like I said. You know, when the world was fawning over him. So, let's say she's telling the truth to an extent. Okay? Because I still think there's another side to this story. I don't see him just blurting out he's lonely. I mean, maybe he is, but I don't see him just blurting it out. It doesn't sound like a proposition. He was having a conversation, an inappropriate conversation at best. Okay? But I will absolutely say that is not the proper conversation I have with somebody. You know, unless she flirted with him or spurned him on, which could possibly be. That's what we're missing here. You understand? So I personally think she might have flirted with him, led him on a little bit. Maybe he misread it. He is old. You know, he's like 167 years old, right? And he thought, oh, I got a shot here. So he, you know, kind of, you know, eased into it. That wasn't sexual harassment. Now, had he taken his dick out, put it on the desk and goes, that's sexual harassment. If he said to her, listen, if you want to advance around here, you know, hop on the gubernatorial lap, that's sexual harassment. But basically having an inappropriate conversation like that, it's inappropriate, but it's not sexual harassment. It's not. Okay? And that brings us to the second chick. Or the third, I should say. Anna Rush. This fucking broad don't even work for him. Where is she coming from? I'll tell you. Okay, this incident with this chick at the wedding happened in 2019. Okay? He's officiating a wedding. So you saw the picture. He grabs her by the face. Now, there's plenty of pictures of Cuomo doing this to a lot of different people. He even said it, because he did give an apology, which I'll get to that in a minute. I didn't forget about that. Okay? But if it was sexual harassment, okay, he would have just fucking grabbed her by the face and rammed his tongue down her throat. You know, like, come here, baby. Ah! You know, like, and I've seen somebody do that, and it's fucking revolting. So, the fact that he grabbed and said, may I kiss you? That's not sexual harassment. Okay? First of all, it can't be sexual harassment if you don't work for the person. I think he was being creepy. I think he really did want to kiss her. Okay? But you don't ask before you harass somebody. You just fucking do it. So, that brings me to my next point. The fact that he asked her. The fact that he made an innuendo or a comment, or he took a shot. That's not fucking harassment. That's hitting on somebody. Okay? If that was sexual harassment, we'd all be in prison. All of us. Men, women. I mean, how many fucking times do we do that? Okay? You flirt. You hit on somebody. You take a shot. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it don't. That's life. Okay? That's what he did. He took a shot. That's all it was. I mean, has this broad never been hit on before? Like, does she not understand? Is every guy that comes on to her fucking sexually harassing her? Give me a break. Here's what happened. So she has this picture. Her gay bestie probably took it. Oh my God, that Andrew Cuomo, he's so hot. You know. And then, like, all of this shit starts happening. She gets a phone call. Remember that picture? You can probably get some money. You should sue. And that's exactly who she dogpiled on too. See, they smell blood in the water. Okay? So, you know, this has been a big fucking thing. People are calling for his resignation and he should step down. Not because he's responsible for the death of 15,000 senior citizens in New York. No. Not because he covered up these numbers on a fucking investigation. No. Not because of his gross fucking incompetence throughout this whole pandemic where he basically destroyed the economy in New York. No. They're calling for him to step down because three broads came out and said, oh, the governor made inappropriate comments towards me. And one of them goes, he kissed me. Which we don't even know. Maybe he did, maybe he did, maybe he bumped into her, maybe he misread a signal. You don't know. Okay? But that's what they're calling for his resignation for. First of all, let me give you guys a little, because I know you're probably confused now. You're looking at the shirt, you're looking at the thing, going, I understand. He's got a shirt that says arrest Cuomo and he's defending him. I'm not defending him. I think this guy's a jerk off. I absolutely think he should be impeached, much less step down and resign. But not because of some of three girls that said he made a comment they didn't like. Okay? First of all, if it was so confusing for you, who are you, fucking deer in the headlights? Okay? Or it was so traumatizing, why didn't you make a fucking complaint right then and there? Don't give me this shit, oh, they're so powerful, they're still fucking in power. You know, what are you looking for? You looking for money? You looking for an apology? Because he apologized. No, he apologized in a Cuomo kind of way, you know, where he said, well, I didn't know I was being inappropriate, and I didn't mean to hurt anyone's feelings. And to an extent, I don't think his intention was to hurt anyone's feelings. I think his intention was to maybe score, okay? If you know, or to kind of see if he had a shot there. I think that was his intention. But I don't think it had anything to do with him actually being abusive, because it didn't. From what I hear, I mean, it's not like he fucking Harvey Weinstein there. You know, like, I mean, that's different. I mean, so when you look at those two comparisons, I'm not seeing sexual harassment here. I'm seeing inappropriate behavior. That's different. Okay? That's not a reason for the guy to resign. Why he should resign or be arrested is because of this. First of all, sexual harassment's not illegal. It's not a crime. Okay? It's inappropriate. It's punishable under civil law, okay, where you could be sued for it. Rape, that's different. Sexual assault, that's different. Physically assaulting somebody, that's a crime. That's what Weinstein went away for. Okay? Telling a girl you like her tits, they're not putting you in jail for that. Okay? That used to be a compliment back in my day. I mean, you go into a club and you look at a chick, a nice rack, they get all excited. Now, oh my God, they're calling the fucking militia out on you. Jesus Christ. But that's not why he should be arrested or impeached or should resign. Matter of fact, the death of these 15,000 senior citizens, tragic as it is, that's also not a crime. I'd like to say you can hit him with third-degree manslaughter, but you got to show intent. You got to show, you got to show reason. It's not what you say, it's what you can prove. Now, his incompetence and his orders did lead indirectly to the death of these people, yes, but making that a manslaughter charge is that's a tough sell. However, impeding a federal investigation, tampering with evidence, lying to investigators, that's a crime. And that is why he should be arrested. That is why he should be prosecuted and jailed, okay, if convicted. That's why. That's why he should be impeached. Okay, he did break a law, all right? Being a moron, unfortunately, I mean, if every politician got impeached for being a moron, Congress would be empty. But the fact that he actually violated a fucking law, that's different. Okay? That's a different story altogether. All right? So that's why he should be arrested. That's why he should resign. That's why he should step down. Not because of these three broads. Okay? Now, the media ignored the fact that he killed 15,000 people. He was responsible for the death of 15,000 people. They even ignored the fact that he covered it up. But the minute these women start going, oh, me too, all of a sudden, now the world hates the guy. You see what I mean? Democrats calling for his resignation, it's laughable. It's a joke. It's because they don't need him anymore. First of all, he was never really well liked by his own party anyway. Okay? Wasn't. That's not a new fact. They kept him around. They made him the golden boy because he gave Trump fucking agita. And kept him busy with that shit. And they were doing what they were doing over here and they sleight of hand. So now they don't need him anymore. Fuck him. They throw him to the wolves. Will he get reelected? No. Absolutely not. If he runs for a fourth term, he's really fucking brain dead. Should he get impeached? Will he get impeached? I don't know. State legislators are voting to take away his emergency powers. That's a first step. That's good. Okay? And I'm glad this is happening to him. It couldn't have happened to a better guy. But again, I don't think that he actually harassed these people. I think he made inappropriate comments. The third one at the wedding, this is a fucking non-issue. This shouldn't even be discussed. Okay? So he apologized. He gave this fucking, oh my God, this Oscar-worthy apology the other day. It was something to see. Okay? He went on to say how he's sorry that his what he said upset people. He thought he was just being playful and blah, blah, blah. And I guarantee you, I really think in his head, that's what he thought. Okay? To a degree. I think he was fishing for a shot, but I think he thought he was being, playful. He didn't mean to offend anyone, which I don't think he did. Okay? And then he got a little choked up and teary-eyed. I mean, forget the fucking Emmy. Give the guy an Oscar. Okay? But these women are not satisfied with first of all, Charlotte Bennett gave this interview right after he gave the apology. She wasn't satisfied with the apology. What the fuck do you want? You left your job. You didn't quit. When did you leave the job? Why did you leave the job? Did you get another job? So there's other facts that need to be examined here. I mean, I think the apology was fucking laughable. I mean, I always make fun of him, but that's nothing new. So again, you know, I think he should be impeached, but not because of this. I think because of the fact that he's a fucking idiot. That should be why he should get impeached, because he killed 15,000 people and covered it up. Or not directly killed them, but was responsible for the death of 15,000 people. And plus, you know what? As a business owner that was directly affected by this guy's fucking incompetence, I find it insulting that they're calling for his resignation now because 3 women said, he made me feel uncomfortable. Well, I've been feeling uncomfortable for the last year because every time this motherfucker woke up, he figured out a new way to cost me money and every other goddamn business owner in New York State. Restaurant owners, gym owners, regular other kinds of businesses, okay? That's why I'm fucking aggravated. Not because 3 broads felt uncomfortable. Put your big girl panties on and deal with it. Okay? There are worse things. Like I said, if he smacked you across the head with across the head with his dick, that's one thing. Okay. Then I'd be confused too. I mean, I wouldn't know what to do. Like, why do you do that? Okay? The guy asked if he could kiss you. You know you could say no. I'll walk away. That's it. Punch him in the dick. I mean, what the fuck? Okay, so 2 out of 3 here are full of shit. I'll give the first one some credit. The other 2, they're just fucking jumping on the fucking Me Too bandwagon here. All right? And that's my 2 cents on Cuomo. People are shocked that he won't resign. He even flat out said, I'm not going to resign. He said, I was elected by the people of New York. Listen, I could have bet my last fucking nickel on this one. Of course he's not going to resign. Remember I said he's got an ego the size of Madison Square Garden? Okay? Right? He's an egomaniac. He thinks he's very funny and charming and entertaining, and he is a colossal asshole. And like I said, he should be impeached for covering up this investigation and also for flat out lying to the people in New York. Okay? You know, follow the facts, follow the facts. It's funny that he says that, considering his daily briefings. All he talked about was, facts. Well, here's a fun fact. He often uses quotes from someone by the name of A.J. Parkinson. Okay, so for example, this particular one. Follow the facts. They will show you the way. Quotes A.J. Parkinson. As funny as that is coming from someone who's covering up an investigation, lying through his teeth. A.J. Parkinson is also not a real person. Okay? He's someone that was invented by Mario Cuomo, his father, when his father was governor. Another fucking moron. Okay? He made this person up as a joke between him and the media, and he would often quote him. And so, Governor, who said that? A.J. Parkinson. And Andrew thinks that was just delightful. So he's been putting these quotes up in his daily presentations and quoting A.J. Parkinson. And even myself, I didn't know this up until recently. Okay, I read this in an article somewhere. Unfortunately, the article was by John Oliver, that retard on HBO, the English guy with his fucking Kermit fingers. He's got like spider fingers. He freaks me out. He pointed this out. See, I give credit where it's due. But I thought that was kind of amusing. That guy is saying follow the facts. Aside from lying, he's quoting a fictitious person. Not too credible there, Andrew, I gotta tell you. So, that's your nostril gate update. Okay? Now on to your corona update. I waxed on for 20 minutes about that, actually a little longer. So now that Governor Cuomo's embroiled in a sexual harassment scandal, the state is opening up. And COVID seems to be disappearing. How about that? I mean, if I would have known that a little sexual harassment would make the Wu flu disappear, I mean, shit, I'd have been walking around pantsless for the last year, teabagging everything. Or at least the liberals, anyway. Shit, I would have encouraged everyone else to do the same thing. If sexual harassment fights off the Wu flu, hey, let's have a party. party like it's 1980 again. The one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which is only 85% effective, mind you, is now available on Long Island, but no direction as to who is eligible to receive it has been given. The only thing that the catastrophe in chief has said is that there will be enough for everyone to receive a vaccine by the end of May. He wrote that on his note card in crayons. He also said that everyone would get a pony. The Tooth Fairy's going to bring everyone cotton candy, and toasters make them sad. So, take that with a grain of salt. But after you receive the vaccine, you're still going to have to wear 2 masks and then hide in the closet in your house until 2025. So, there you go. Thanks, Johnson & Johnson. The Empire State COVID Passport. Have you guys heard about this shit? So get this. There's another fucking Cuomo brainchild. So now stadiums and venues are starting to open up, right? Granted, at 10% capacity. But here's a new thing that Cuomo wants to introduce into New York State. It's called the Empire State Passport, digital passport. And on this passport's a QR code. So you have to show this code if you want to get into venues. And what it does is it actually tracks whether you've had the COVID vaccine or if you've had a negative COVID test within 72 hours. It all gets uploaded to the state's website. And now if you want to gain admission into a venue, you got to show this part. You can either print it out on your computer or you got to show it on an app on your phone. This is how they're going to fucking track you. Eventually, we're just this far away from everyone being mandatorily vaccinated. Okay? This is just right now a pilot program just to see how it works with venues. Pretty soon, I guarantee you're going to need to use this you're going to need to have this to use mass transit, travel on a fucking plane, probably even get into regular places like stores and restaurants and things like that. Again, this is how they're going to chip us. I'm telling you. Okay? So this is just the beginning of the end. Texas is open for business, literally. So the governor of Texas, this guy's just had enough. He's just like, you know what, fucking, I'm done. Okay, he says, you know what, everybody's open, schools, everything from now on open, like it was in 2019. No more fucking masks, no more bullshit. We got a vaccine, okay, vaccinate. And he's pretty much borrowing a page out of the Floridian book. Now, DeSantis didn't do exactly the same thing, but, pretty fucking close. And Biden had turned around and called Governor Abbott a fucking Neanderthal. Mississippi also did it. So he's calling them Neanderthals for actually trying to open up their own economy. Yeah. And I guarantee you Texas and Mississippi will probably be successful with this. Listen, let me tell you something. If the feds were really concerned, okay, about health and safety, then they wouldn't be letting people from other, refugees from other countries over the southern border without giving them a fucking COVID test, okay, or quarantining them. Matter of fact, they released 108 of these illegals into Texas, and all 108 of them tested positive for the fucking coronavirus. So don't tell me this is all about, public safety. Bullshit. Okay? Because first of all, if you're concerned again about public safety, you wouldn't have erased the fucking immigration laws that Trump had in place. At least not yet. This stupid fuck erased everything in a day, and he caused there's a fucking catastrophe down at the southern borders, which the news outlets won't tell you about. Fox News tried to go down there and see what was going on, and they wouldn't let them in. They got kids in internment camps, okay, in little fucking trailers with makeshift blankets and plastic tents. Yeah. They don't know what to do. 20,000 people rushed the fucking border. They don't know what to do because they dismissed INS. Yeah, so wait, it's just gonna get better. So don't fucking tell me that this is about public safety. I applaud the governors of Mississippi and Texas as well as Florida for doing a good job, for doing their fucking job. Maybe Cuomo should kind of pay attention to what they're doing. And so should that fuckstick in Jersey and the other schmuck in fucking Connecticut. So, That's Texas. Ever notice that, they keep sending little Fauci out to move the goalposts every time some kind of milestone is made? It's like they want to keep us in a state of panic. I'm not getting all conspiracy theory on you. But, yeah, for example, the COVID cases plateaued in the country, right? The number of COVID cases plateaued, which means they haven't really moved. They're pretty much leveling out. Fauci comes, oh, no, this is not good. This is going to spike again. Pop, wear 9 masks. Put your head up your ass, It's like every time things start to, look a little fucking normal, they wind this little fuck up and they send them out to get everybody all fucking worked up into a froth again. You know what they're saying to do for St. Patty's Day? Stay home. Don't gather. Don't have friends. Don't do nothing. Hide under the bed. It's going to be like this for the next 4 years, kids. I just want you to know. So, that's your COVID Corona update. Well, now it's time for that magical little trip into fucking hysteria. Get those tickets out, kids. Time to get them punched. It's time to hop aboard the crazy train. All aboard! So, first stop, Washington, D.C. Last Wednesday, Joe Biden. Which, if you notice, I really don't ever call him President Biden, right? There's a reason for that. Joe Biden was on a virtual conference with Democratic lawmakers. Drunky Pelosi and company. They were discussing this fucking disaster of a COVID plan. And when he said he was ready to take questions, the White House abruptly cut the feed. Okay? I mean, I almost felt bad. He even took his shoes off. He got a cookie out of his pocket. He was all ready. And they just cut the cord on him. Which is just part of more bizarre behavior when it comes to Joe Biden. And I'll explain what I mean. He's the only president, or person pretending to be president, rephrase, who hasn't given, he's been in the Oval Office for 48 weeks, and he has not, 48 days, I should say. Yeah, 48 days. And he has not yet given a press conference. I mean, he's had a few little recorded speaking blurbs here and there, but not a press conference. Trump used to give press conferences all the fucking time. He won't take questions from the press. He's not allowed to take questions from the press. I mean, the guy don't even know his own fucking name. He needs to carry a goddamn card in his pocket with just rudimentary information on it. Matter of fact, Kamala Harris is in charge of all the direct calls, all one-on-one calls with world leaders. They will not let Joe Biden answer questions from the press, not from the Senate, not from Congress, not talk to world leaders one-on-one. Since when does a fucking vice president supersede the president's authority when dealing with world leaders? When does that fucking happen? Okay? Well, I shouldn't say who did we elect. I know who I elected. You know who you elected. There's a corpse in Florida or in Pennsylvania. It doesn't know who they elected, but apparently they voted for Biden. But, does that strike anyone as odd? Like, I don't, it's bizarre. So, it just goes to show you that the guy is cognitively deficient and mentally irregular, and he really can't conduct himself right. He always looks like he's, just teetering on the verge of just crying. Anyhow, next stop, Seattle, Washington. Amazon recently changed their logo and then had to change it again because somebody said it looked like Hitler's face. But who the fuck? It's just a box with tape, and someone looks at this and goes, "Oh my God, it looks like Adolf Hitler." But what drugs are people on that someone looks at that? I mean, I don't. It took me a while to even see it. Like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't. Okay. Like, who looks at a fucking logo like that and just primary shapes on it and goes, it looks like Hitler. So they had to change it. This fucking world has just gone completely mental. Next stop, Whoville. So, Dr. Seuss is a racist. Yep, you heard me right. Dr. Seuss is a racist. So some titles of some books are now no longer available for children to read. They've been pulled off of Amazon any book retailer. Matter of fact, if you have copies of these books and you're trying to sell them, they're going to sell for like $5,000 a book. But you can't sell them on any resale sites because they won't let you. They're censoring you. I mean, who would have thought that the guy that invented the fucking cat in the hat was a racist? As a matter of fact, he's the exact opposite. He was kind of like Martin Luther King, where he envisioned a world without color, in the sense that, you know, a person doesn't get judged by the color of their skin, but they get judged by the content of their character. Okay? So the titles of the books that are in question here are as follows. One of them is To Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street. Now listen, I grew up in the city. I saw a lot of things on fucking Mulberry Street, which we're not going to discuss. But not one of them was racist. Okay? If something happened to you on Mulberry Street, it's because you shouldn't have been doing what you were doing, or you were in the wrong place at the wrong time, or you pissed off the wrong fucking person, or maybe you owed somebody money. But that's it. Okay? I mean, apparently there was a Chinese person in this book, which there are a lot of Asians. They're not Chinese, really. So, well, yeah, I guess so, yeah. It was a Chinese, I mean, now there's a lot of Chinese people on Mulberry Street. But because they were drawn to look Chinese, and they were eating noodles with chopsticks, that's considered racist. Ever go to a fucking Chinese noodle shop? You know what they're using to eat their fucking noodles? Chopsticks. Morons. The next one is called If I Ran the Zoo, which is clearly a story about what would happen if I was president. I don't see anything racist there either. Okay? Next one, McElligot's Pool. It's a book about an Irishman who gets drunk and pees in his own pool. It's a good life lesson there. And last but not least is the book called On Beyond Zebra, which is the book that inspired Spike Lee to write Jungle Fever. So again, I don't understand what the problem is with these books. Why they're considered to be racist. I mean, what the fuck are kids going to read nowadays? You know, wait. Oh, my next book. They're going after Curious George next. They're saying that the Curious George books are racist because a white man goes to Africa and brings back a monkey. Now, what kid looks at this and finds any kind of racism to it? I mean, some disgruntled fucking idiot, okay, is probably racist themselves, looks at this and goes, oh, this is racist. This white man went to Africa and brought back a monkey. It's a fucking monkey. What's racist? Now listen, if they brought the monkey back and called him Curious Leon, and you know he was, you know, sampling various amounts of heroin down in East New York, well then I can understand that. Okay, I can see how that, here's Curious Leon. We found him in a crack house. I mean, then, yeah, okay, all right, I can understand that. Or if the man in the yellow hat dressed George up like in a little butler's costume and made him bring him like Uncle Ben's and Aunt Jemima rice and go, yes, master. Well, then, yeah, that would be fucking racist. It's just a monkey with a curiosity problem. I don't see how that's fucking racist, but that's next to go. It's Curious George. I mean, what the fuck are kids gonna end up reading? The goddamn Crying Game? Is that okay? Because I mean, we can give them hormone pills at 5 years old. All right. I like to make sissies sitting down. Okay, here, take these pills and your dick will shrink off. Huh? I mean, don't worry. If you're in Hebrew school, you read Yentl. It's the same thing. It's the kosher Crying Game. Okay, but, yeah, so. That's your trip on the crazy train. Short but sweet. Oh, wait, one more stop we got. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This was a last-minute addition, which I thought was fucking delightful. You know how they have it, like, at baseball games or football games, the kiss cam? When the camera zooms in on somebody, like a couple, and they got a kiss, and they're on TV, and they get all excited. Well, now they have what's called the sanitizer fan cam, where I guess the camera pans to the person and it shoots hand sanitizer at them, but being that hand sanitizer is clear, they dyed it white, or at least it looks white on the camera, and it looks like somebody's ejaculating on these fucking people. I mean, let's just call it what it is, right? Okay? It looks like they're being squirted with jizz. And this is a Milwaukee Bucks game, and there's people in the camera, doing all kinds of fucking perverted things. Kids watch this shit. I mean, nobody seems to be concerned about their innocence there. But God forbid they pick up a fucking Dr. Seuss book. Holy shit, we gotta reprogram them. Sports updates. NHL and NBA. Well, it's kind of at that point in the season, hockey and basketball, where it's sort of like every day is the same day. It's like nothing really extraordinary is happening here and there. We're not at the playoffs yet. All-Star game is coming up for the NBA. But just to give you a quick little rundown, Islanders are in second place. So if you're an Islanders fan, salud. The Rangers are 2 levels up from officially sucking. God knows I'm a Rangers fan, so that's... Notice the joy on my face. Nets are in second place. That's cool. The Knicks are in fifth, which is typical. And the Bulls are in ninth. Sadly, that team will probably never see an ounce of glory again. And in more sports news, Aaron Boone, the manager of the Yankees. Now, if you've watched my show at all, last summer, even, or you just know me personally, you know how much I fucking can't stand this fucking big-eared fuck. Okay, I think he's the most incompetent piece of shit to ever wear fucking pinstripes. Well, apparently, he's got heart problems. He said he was experiencing low energy and low heart rate. This son of a bitch has been experiencing fucking low energy for the last 2 seasons, but now they're attributing it to the fact that he needed a pacemaker, so he went in for surgery for a pacemaker. Unfortunately, he's making a full recovery. He'll probably be back on the managing the Yankees before spring training is out. So, yeah, I can't wait for baseball season. So, on What the Fuck Is That? We're going to talk about Karens. No, not the name. Not people named Karen, but Karens. A Karen is somebody who, has this sense of entitlement. They complain about everything, basically. They're the type, I want to talk to the manager. Now, I don't think a Karen is really a derogatory term in the sense that it's hurtful. I think it's more comical and pretty accurate. But, it's usually used as a derogatory term towards white women. And I don't think it's really it should be relegated to just white women. Because there's white Karens, excuse me, this is unacceptable. I need to speak to the manager. It's a white Karen. But then there's black Karens, too. What is this shit here? Oh, no, Miss Thing, I see your boss. You go get your manager and tell him bring his ass over here. I need to spend, I ain't spending my money on this shit. It's black Karen, okay? Then you got Asian Karens. No, this is no good. I want to speak to manager now. And then you got Hispanic Karens, which those are the fucking worst. No, mommy. No, papi, listen to me. No. You got this all wrong. No. I want to speak to the manager. Mira, si me vuelvo loca, te cortaré las malditas pelotas y le daré tu madre. Mira. Pronto. Okay? Those are the ones you got to watch out for, because they get too fucking wound up and the motherfuckers will cut you. Okay? And that's been your Friday wrap-up. So, enjoy your weekend, kids. Stay warm. And I'll see you when I see you.